I like to welcome all and good afternoon to this to all of you. So today's topic for our webinar is win more bids with civil bills accurate and competitive estimates. Announce your estimates with real-time pricing and seamless integration to create competitive bids quickly. And to present this topic, I've got Mr. Dijo Jose, who is a regional director for Middle East and Africa. I got Pranav Hatkar, who is a senior product lead with the SoftTech Engineers. And we also been accompanied by Mr. Premnath Basawa, who is the vice president delivery. Over to you, Dijo. You can take up the session.
Great. Thanks. Am I audible, Swapnil?
Yeah, you are clearly audible.
Perfect. Can you just put the PPT to full screen, please?
If there is some issue, yeah.
Any technical glitch?
Yeah. Is it visible in a full screen mode?
Not yet. At least for me. Pranav and Prem, can you see it in full screen or?
Yeah, Dijo, we can see full screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's maybe on my lab could be an issue. It's okay. Great. Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Those who have joined from different parts of the globe. And thank you so much for your time participating in this webinar section, more focused towards the CivitBUILD construction and contracting ERP solution. And it's my pleasure to have quick intro on the CivitBUILD as an organization. As Swapnil said, myself, Dijo, the regional director for Middle East and Africa, and I have my team members, Mr. Prem and Pranav, joined this particular webinar, who will be taking over the sections moving forward. But I will take everyone's 5 to 10 minutes time to just give you an heads up on what is SoftTech and what we are trying to demonstrate today, so that you all subject matter experts coming from the AEC industry can benefit out of the CivitBUILD construction and contracting ERP solution. So let's start with the first slide. We make, as the slide clearly states, we make the construction life cycle smart, efficient, productive, and digital. Yes, we all know construction industry is one of the industry which is least adopted by the digital transformation compared to any other industries. SoftTech is an technology company. We are in the urge of developing the software solution pertaining to the AEC sector, architectural engineering and construction. And we serve the different stakeholders within the sector, as you know, the governmental, of course, the enterprise, as well as the consultant and architects. So we have multiple solutions that we caters in line with the post-construction, construction, as well as the pre-construction stages of our AEC life cycle. Today, we will be more focused towards the CivitBUILD application, which is an enterprise construction management software that enables the contractors and the subsequent stakeholders, as we know, the subcontractors, how they can automate their process, having a smart by using the intelligent tools and technologies available as of date, more efficient by streamlining the processes and reducing the operation silos by industry best practices. Moreover, how we can increase your productivity by helping teams to get more collaborated between the different teams, rather than working as a silos or independent units within the organization level. And more by making your organization into a digital platform that will give the visibility to the different department what exactly happens in each individual projects, what your teams are getting involved. So that's how we define how SoftTech's product lines going to make your organization more smarter, more efficient, productive, and digital moving forward. One which, as you know, the current era demands for it, for you to get the estimated margin, what you are estimated during the estimation phase, rather than having the surprises while you're handing over the projects in terms of your margins. Next slide. Swapnil, at least I'm on the third slide, please. Can you move to the next slide, please?
Did you are able
Can you move
to?
to slide number 4?
I guess there is some technical issue, Dijo, because I'm moving the slides and those are may not be visible at your end. So if you want, you can take the charge of the screen as well.
Okay, can you just give me the control, please?
Yeah, I just stopped mine.
Is my screen is visible?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Perfect. So just to give a heads up on SoftTech's background, as sorry for the technical glitch there, team. Moving forward, we talked about a legacy of around 29 years, exclusively developing the software solutions for the AEC industry team. And we are a public limited company, yes, listed in NSE and BSE back in India. And we talks about multiple product lines, caters to the different, for the different stakeholders within the AEC sector. We have our corporate office based out of Pune back in India, but we are spread across the different parts of the globe, including Middle East and Africa, back in Singapore, Malaysia, US, UK, as well as in Finland, to take care of our existing customers, as well as for providing the local supports to our different customer base, what we are having it all there. As I mentioned, we have different product lines, starts with plan and permit, more focused towards building plan approval solution, mostly used by the governmental and semi-governmental entities. We have CivitBUILD and infra, more focus towards the ERP, enterprise resource planning. Yes, today's more focus would be on CivitBUILD application. And we have a product line called CivitSustain, which talks about the sustainability requirement that demands from the AEC industry as of current technology era. Moreover, we provide the services, including the BIM services. SV on GIS platform, we provide the services on ArcGIS platform. Moreover, we have the service division, which provides custom developed construction AI tool that we are getting it developed for the different customer base throughout the world, depends upon the each regional requirements and the industry best practices, what we offers in the regions. Let's get into the CivitBUILD application, which is the agenda for today. As I mentioned, it's a 360-degree construction ERP software, which integrates all your departments, starts from your estimation team, your procurement, your inventory, internal budgeting teams, nothing but the cost controlling team, your finance, your procurement, as well as your plant and machinery and subcontractor departments, So this will give you a single solution that caters to the automation or digitalization of your entire organizational requirements. Moreover, yes, it's a SaaS based. Of course, we offers in SaaS as well as in perpetual licensing model, hosted from our 3 different data centers available worldwide. Starts from our Dubai data center for our Middle East and African customers. We have our data center back in India for our India and Asia Pacific, and we have our data center in US catering to the respective regions. As I mentioned, it provides you with the complete life cycle of your construction, starts from your estimation management, your project management, your HR and payroll, as well as the finance management concepts for your organizational requirements. Just to give key facts on CivitBUILD, as of today, we talks about more than 5,000 plus users use our applications from our Civit platform, spread across 10 different countries. And moreover, we talks about around 1,000 plus legal entities, which is already registered in our cloud platform, who are taking our services in terms of automating or digitalizing the entire business process within their organization. It can be from an SME segment, or can be an enterprise, or it can be a startup company. So the advantage of CivitBUILD, one which you can pick and choose the modules that is required for your organizational requirement as of date, and it can be get scaled up based on how your organization progress from your business models. As we all know, SoftTech's all products and services are caters to the AEC industry. Specific to CivitBuild, who would be that stakeholders who can make use of CivitBuild application for their business processes? Nothing but your general contractors. If you are a general contractor, or if you are a specialist contractor or a trainee or a property developer, CivitBuild would be the best application that can enable, because it has been developed by the industry experts, and it's have already stabilized. The product is been stabilized in the market considering the different regional requirements, and it's a ready-made solution for you to start configuring it and start using it based on your industry or your organization policies and the SOPs what you have in the organizational level. What I'm trying to emphasize here, there is no need for you to get into a customization mode unless you need to customize or incorporate certain traditional approach what you follow in the organization. So CivitBuild give you an industry standard ERP that is specific to contracting and construction organization or for a real estate developer, starts from your RFP management till your P&L of your project monitoring. Slicing down, little bit down, which industry stakeholders can make use of CivitBuild? Yes, start from your general contractors. It can if you are a civil subcontractor or an EPCM or an MEP. As we all know, the processes are same. Start from your RFP. If you're a subcontractor, you will get an RFP from your main contractor, and you will submit the proposal. Once you have been awarded, then you will be getting into your procurement or even the service deliveries to them. So processes are remain same, but only your role or your stakeholdership within that project going to get varied. One thing what I want to highlight, if your multiple entities are available within your organization, sister concerns, you can make use of same application for creating multiple legal entities, since the system supports with multi-currency and multi-legal entity configuration based on the customer requirements. Whether it is irrespective of different regions, you can have single environment that can control or automate your organizations in the different regions. As I mentioned, ERP, when we talks about the concept of ERP, we all understand it's a complete integrated platform that enables you to have the visibility or data transfer happens between one department to another department as per the configuration what we are doing as per the requirements of the customer. So today we talks about around 13 modules, starts from your estimation, which is nothing but the focus for our today's webinar. Of course, it supports with construction, budget planning, the project scheduling management module, sales management and CRM for a property developer, project monitoring and progress, which is nothing but our PMS, the project management module available in CivitBuild. Of course, it's supported with the subcontract management, procurement, inventory and warehouse management, financial management, HR and payroll, as well as you have the mobile app that enables your site engineers to work on their daily schedule based on the project schedule released to them by the project managers. As you could see on the slide, this is how the process flow, as we all agree, which is the process flow happens in any contracting organization. Starts from your bid, your quantity takeoff. It can be from an ready-made Excel sheet, which is being received from your consultant or from a contractor, or it can be a BIM model. That's what we are going to demonstrate today, how the BIM model quantity takeoff can be get enabled, and it is tightly integrated with CivitBuild application. Once you have your sales order available, how your further steps in the organization, like your internal construction budget, your project planning and execution part of it, your procurement, requisition comes from the project side, how your plant and equipments can be get managed in terms of the maintenance part, your entire end-to-end subcontractor management, starting from the RFP release to your work order, to your billing cycle, or even your progressive billing. We call it as the payment certificate. Once the subcontractor's work is over, can be managed and controlled by CivitBuild application. But that may not be the point of discussion today. For you to get some insights onto that, you can visit our website. You have the previous recordings are available. That will give a better insight that how each modules have been supporting or giving the required features for the contractors in line with their business requirements for automating each departments. Yes, the different stakeholders within the organization, as we know, As you all see on the screen, starts from your CEO, CFO, your operations director. As we all know, when you talks about the enterprise, you have the minimum key stakeholders who will be taking the control of each project. Starts from your estimator at the time of estimation. And once you get into the project execution part of it, you will have the project managers, your operations directors, your cost controllers, your HR managers, not even the stockkeepers will come. As I explained in the previous slides, each module pertains to each stakeholders within the organization. But today, as we are focusing on the bid management or even the estimation module, our focus would be today how an estimator or even the sales team can be get benefited out of the CivitBUILD bid management module available. Yes. So what are the USPs of CivitBUILD estimation module? We talks about the accurate project estimate. We have the concept called the global libraries are available, which in terms takes care of your resources, your item masters, and moreover, it will give you the visibility in terms of the most updated pricing from your transaction happens in the CivitBUILD application. Template driven, yes. If you are getting your BOQ in an Excel template, you have the option to export it to the system. And or if in case you are having the BIM model, you started working on the BIM models, yes, CivitBUILD can extract the quantity takeoff from your BIM models and generate the BOQ in CivitBUILD application for your costing pricing. We are going to demonstrate in next 5 to 10 minutes time. Centralized price control, yes. Whenever you release an work order or a purchase order to your suppliers or even to your subcontractors, the libraries what we are referring to is going to get updated automatically. So at any point of time, for any item what you're referring in the library, will be getting the most updated pricing from our SoftTech, what I mean from your CivitBUILD. So this will enable you to get, as we know, while you're working on the Excel sheet, it will be difficult for you to manage. Is it the most updated pricing what you're working on? Today, we are talking about a real-time system that will give you the most updated or the rate what you have used in your previous project that is going to get visible for your estimators. And this will reduce the number of hours what your estimators or your quantity surveys are going to work on creating an estimate and converting it to a quotation for your sales team. We talks about the versions and revisions. Yes, system have the capability to maintain multiple revisions for your estimation what you're creating. And you can just get it cross compared at any point of time in terms of your previous quotation what you have submitted versus the current quotation what you have negotiated for. Analyzing the cost changes, yes, monitor discounts. It's a core functionality available in CivitBUILD, how you can manage with the discounting factor based on the feedback what you're getting it from your consultants or not even from your client. You can have the line-based discounting, not even it can be on a section level. So again, those are highly demanded features what CivitBUILD offers to our existing customers, and we have great feedbacks from our customers on those features available. Accessible estimation history. Moreover, coming to the procurement, yes, as we know, the challenges what we face during the estimation. As we know, most of the quantity surveys, they will go with the standard pricing based on their experience. In the previous project, they will go with the pricing. But if in case you want to have an estimation to be taken from the market by releasing an RFQ request for quotation in the market, yes, you can make use of the procurement module available so that you will be getting the most updated pricing from your supplier, not even from your subcontractor, and that can be get incorporated for your estimation at any point of time. As I mentioned earlier, whatever your previous project estimation based on the BOQ, system will be default providing it. But on top of that, if you want to get checked for the better pricing, you can do that during the estimation itself. Maintain project price list. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, again, this will give you the visibility in terms of the RFQ data management. So whatever the data getting updated in the system, it is automatically getting updated in the libraries so that that can be used by your different stakeholders from a civil department or an MEP or maybe from HVAC. They can make use of the updated price list or the libraries for their estimation and reduce your estimating time. And once you are done with your costing and the pricing, including the discounting, you can generate the quotation from the system so that your sales team can share it with your prospects or with your consultants for their further action plan. So this covers the entire challenges that's currently faced by the estimating team. And once you are developing or implementing the CivitBUILD, this is going to get automated so that your 10 days job is going to get reduced to 2 days based on your BOQ or the different type of activities what you're going to propose to your prospects. So take an example, we have come across with certain cases in which you might be running within tier 1 ERP system, but you need to just use only the estimation module. Yes, it is possible. You can make use of our CivitBUILD estimation module for your estimation purpose. And once the sales order is booked in the system, then you can get it integrated with your existing ERP system, or it can be an existing accounting package what you're currently. Or if you wish to automate your entire process, it is highly recommended. You can pick and choose the respective modules that is required from the CivitBUILD application as a platform, and you can do your automation process based on your requirements there. Yes, we will get into the product demo, purely targeting on the bid management and a few areas of the procurement to showcase the capabilities of CivitBUILD application, to showcase how the entire estimation life cycle will be taken care as part of the CivitBUILD implementation for the stakeholders, what I mean for the main contractors or for a subcontractor. We'll touch base on resource and item libraries. As I was explaining earlier, the rate analysis concept, auto quantity takeoff from the BIM models, costing, pricing, and RFQ and RFP response models, and the sales order process once you have been awarded with a contract from your client or from your consultants. Over to you, Pranav, if you could share your screen and run through the demo, please.
Yes, Bijo. I'm audible, right?
You are. Please continue.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so very much, Bijo, for that wonderful explanation there. I'm seeing my screen. Yeah. Right. So starting with the initiation part, what Diju had covered during his explanation. First thing first, when we start with the CivitBUILD for the bid management to win more bids and manage your bids starting from the inquiry to the costing and pricing and submission part, negotiating with the client, and then finally either winning that bid or maybe losing because of any of the reason, maybe quoting higher rates or any other reason, and how we can perform the analysis using the analytical tool what CivitBUILD offer as a dashboard that we are going to see today. Okay, so for making use of time, a best time, because we as an industry expert knows that during bidding and preparing a your submission document for a client or preparing your quotation, time is of greatest, and you need to have your negotiation pricing prepared on time to make sure that your bids are going to get submitted properly with great analysis, and your team should be able to get a reference from your past record, and hence we have a concept of library in the CivitBUILD. This library will help you build your data easily and replicate the true and actual resource and item rates to prepare best and most accurate estimate possible. With that, we have come up with the resource library wherein all of your resources what are required to make use and define the items and the resources required to execute that project that can be created and stored in the library. These rates are available with the rates what when you have prepared the library. But as you go further in CivitBUILD, making a purchase order or in follow up entire procurement cycle, these rates will get available with the resource rates what is actually available in the market. So so user who is accessing the library and keeping the rates updated can take a reference from the rates which are actually there in the market to pick and update the libraries. So whenever estimation team is going to take a reference for these resources during the estimation, will have a actual market rate available, so their estimation is more than accurate at the time of estimation. Same thing goes with the item library, we call the SOR, schedule of rates, wherein you could have a different SORs prepared for you. Like for example, you may have go for a HVAC project or MEP project, civil project, and so on and so forth. You could have your libraries prepared for each type of project separately, and you can have a rate card. Maybe you are based on your location, and the rate varies according to that location. You can store and replicate those items and make their rate analysis for that particular project or situation. Rate analysis performed in the library are typically based on unit quantity, because there are no quantities in the libraries. You make an estimate, it is always for, let's say, 1 cubic meter, 1 square meter, like so, a unit quantity. The rates stored here and the resources defined for each cubic meter or square meter per unit quantity are based on the coefficients what you are going to use for that, for during the estimation. So your resources, your sub items, your sundries. Sundries include many of the types of charges what you apply on that particular item. Maybe your safety charges, maybe electricity, maybe transportation cost, and so on. This rate analysis performed in during your global library will help you a lot during your actual war time. That is when you are preparing a project estimation at the time. This stored rate analysis will serve as a predefined masters to prepare your bids estimation, costing easily and accurately. This is a master and global part which is to be performed or keep is to be kept updated and stored, so that when you are preparing a bid or estimation, you could have a ready references available in your masters. Let's take one scenario to understand this concept very easily. Let's say we have an agreement with the most prominent client who come up with the multiple work orders or a project. So there is a blanket agreement or a comprehensive agreement that we have with the client, and under this comprehensive agreement you could have a multiple tenders coming up. So you could have that comprehensive agreement stored, and this under that agreement you could have a multiple tenders coming up, lining up under that particular inquiry. Or you could have an inquiry, let's say, floating up into the market. So initially, let's say your business development department comes up with this inquiry that there is a project called International City. It's a township or apartment project, for example, located in Dubai, for example, and there is an issue date, mission date. There is a tentative, let's say, estimated contract value for that project. In which currency we are going to bill? There could be multiple highlights associated to the project, right? This inquiry, a submission document what you are supposed to submit, like your experience letter, your staff resumes, and so on. What are your technical capabilities that we are supposed to submit with the tender, that we enlist in here during the inquiry, the consultant associated with that inquiry, tender purchase cost, pre-bid queries what you have, addendums, taxes, and so on and so forth. There are so many things that you could have during inquiry stage that is to be taken into consideration before deciding whether to go for this bid or this inquiry or not. Of course, these inquiries are subjected to approval in a system. So whenever business development team come up with any leads or any inquiries in the market, it is subjected to approval from an department like bid manager or bid management department head, to be receive an approval and deciding whether to go for this bid or not. Once this inquiry is taken into account into project and they have decided to go for it, you could have your BOQ, that is the bill of quantities, available along with the project which is our inquiry floated into market. That document is already floated into the market by the client, which enlist all of the items that are needs to be performed in that project on item basis. So let's say I could have an international city project wherein all my civil works, all my preliminary works, all my mechanical works are enlisted under it with the items, their quantities and units. And so these are all um, uh, items which are to be performed in order to complete the project, and this is floated by the client. So with an Excel, this all data can be imported with a click in a CivitBuild. So you will have your entire BOQ available in the system directly. Once this BOQ is available with you in a system from the Excel file, you can assign the job to your estimation engineers and get the costing done. There is another side to it which needs to be considered, that there might be a chances that client will float a drawings, maybe a beam 3D model, and ask you to derive and quantities for each item that has to be performed under this project. So for that, we have in a CivitBuild, we have a beam integration available. This beam integration offers you extraction of quantity directly from the beam 3D model into CivitBuild BOQ. So for that purpose, right? So whenever you attach a model which is made available by um, your prospect, in this case, it is yet to convert it as a client, you will have your Rivet model available. Let's take an small apartment project, right? So you could have that 3D model available. Once that is attached and rendered, CivitBuild offers this add-in wherein you can perform this quantity takeoff with the tool. So there is a check model and you can view the status. If there is any errors in a model, system will check and gives you an alert that there is an error in model that you need to correct. If there is the model is error free, you can start performing an activity wise estimation or deriving the quantities from your 3D model with defining the area from where you need to export the quantities. You can have the dimensions defined, mark that area in your 3D model, and export those quantities right with one click. Apart from that, you can define the directions to have an export. Let's say for a wall, you are extracting the quantity, or for wall finishes, you can map the families of rivet with the families or items in a CivitBuild to have an extracted quantity. Similarly, for BBS, bar bending schedule, you could import the bar bending schedule directly into the CivitBuild to derive your steel quantities from your structural model. Once your quantities are derived, you can have a detailed report or abstract report from a system directly, which are predefined in a add-in section to have a multiple reports and view the quantities directly into SwitBuild. There is an additional feature here which highlights the part from where the quantity is coming that is getting highlighted. Once you have these quantities available, you can map that with the system items in the system, and you can have that BOQ readily available in the system. This is a way of having a quantity available or extracting the quantities directly from the 3D model, or either from the Excel file which is made available by a client to you. Once this is available, you can assign this different sections or bills to your different estimation engineers who are maybe a mechanical engineer or civil engineer, and they can start working on the costing part. And the quantities are, like I said, maybe made available by a client with the help of Excel, or you could have derived it from the BIM 3D model. So for civil estimation preparation, we have a BOQ, maybe from an Excel file or from a BIM model. This BOQ, what is made available, will be available with the BOQ quantity and the internal quantities as well. Now you could perform identify the rates and to land upon the cost or the estimation. You could follow the standard rate practice, wherein based on your past experience, you can directly input the rates in here. There is other way of doing it, which we call the rate analysis. That rate analysis, which is performed based on either from your master data, or this estimation can be performed for this particular project directly in here. So, take an example. This for PCC work. What I'm doing. A minute here. So for plain cement concreting work, I could perform a rate analysis directly in here. So I may require a site mix for this plain cement concrete, and I could require cement, sand, aggregate, admixture. I may have to perform some concrete patching work on the floor, and may have some sundries to be considered. So performing a rate analysis is a critical job. And while preparing a bids and participating in bid, and like we have mentioned earlier, time is of greatest. So considering a time, you could copy the rate analysis directly from your library, which is already prepared and defined by you during your library or global library preparation. If these items are similar to what you have in your masters, you could directly copy that rate analysis from your masters, or you can take the copy and modify the rate analysis here for that particular item. And in that way, by defining materials, labors, equipment, your sub items, your sundries, your per unit cost for that particular item is going to get defined. There are ways of identifying the rate for performing that particular item or cost for that particular item. You can have a standard rate, you can have a rate analysis rate, what I've just mentioned, or otherwise there is an subcontracting rate, or we called it as a SC rate in a system, that I may have identified that this item is what I'm going to sublet to a subcontractor, and I wanted to identify that vendor during my bidding stage. And there we come up with an option called an RFQ, which is nothing but request for quotation. What we typically do there is we float the RFQ to my suppliers for getting the quotes for them against a material or an item that is required to be performed. Or I could float an inquiry asking for a quotation from to my vendors directly. So I can identify what materials or items I need to perform, and what are the vendors to whom I wanted to float an inquiry. CivitBuild is available with a vendor portal option. This vendor portal, whenever vendor is registered with you, maybe a supplier or contractor, will get a credentials, and with that they can all access the vendor portal. And whenever you float any RFQ, request for quotation, they will have an email alert asking them to fill a quotation by accessing a vendor portal. Once they go on a vendor portal, they could see the RFQ which you have floated, and they can submit their quotation directly by submitting a quotation number, the rates, the discounts what they are offering, the taxes they are imposing, and their terms and conditions. They can feed up, they can attach the document, and they can submit the quote to you. This quote, what they have submitted to you, will be made available to you for analysis. So this analysis is nothing but comparing different quotes that you have received from the market from different vendors. You can perform this analysis easily and quickly to understand and finalize one vendor to whom you wish to award that particular order, maybe a purchase order or work order. This rate, what you have received from the vendors, can be entered as a SC rate during your quotation preparation for your vendors. These rates are to be entered and will serve as a base rate for preparing your estimate and submitting your quotation to a vendor directly. Whenever you win a project and when you float this item for your execution for your with your execution department, this rate will be made available to your subcontractor, with your subcontractor to whom you can award the work order or purchase order. Moving forward, this costing once prepared will be a direct cost for the items, and there is an indirect cost associated to the item. Maybe your mobilization cost, your overhead cost, which includes transportation, safety, electricity, and staff cost to whom I wanted to appoint them for an execution, and then my final total cost for the project, considering direct and indirect cost, will be proportionately distributed to give you a total cost of project, which is nothing but an indirect and direct cost of the project. Again, this is subjected to an approval. So there will be an authority to whom the costing is supposed to be reviewed and approved. And if not, there is a provision of performing a multiple revisions, because there might be chances of having revisions in the drawings, or client could ask for something. So there is an revision scope, and you can have the multiple revisions for your estimation, and system will give you a comparison of them side by side. So you can always have a multiple revisions against the estimation as and when the drawing changes or scope changes or addition of scope or removals of scope in any of the scenario. And you can have the comparison between the different revisions, so you can understand why this revision happened, because there is a provision of maintaining the remarks, that why I am updating or making the revisions. So that can be get highlighted as a revision comparison option. Moving forward, whenever this costing is done, there is a process called a pricing, wherein a department will go and add a profit margins for against that project. So whatever costing is prepared by an estimation department, same is available, including direct and indirect cost. There will be a total cost. Now team is supposed to perform or add up the profit margins, which may have a civil scope or MEP or preliminary work. I could have the profit maybe 15%, 20% and so, and I can go and add those profit margin. This is a top-down approach wherein starting from top, maybe civil work, maybe under that excavation work, PCC work, and so I could distribute the profit margins from top level to bottom level, top level to bottommost level, which is nothing but the item. A reverse way of doing it is nothing but going from bottom, that is the least entity in my BOQ, which is nothing but my item, and I could have a profit margin distributed for each item separately. I can go and add the profit for each item and achieve better is and profit margin, the profit margin liberation for each item separately and individually. You can have a tentative execution schedule prepared so that your client will have an understanding of when you are proposing to start and end the project, by what time, and of course the terms and condition what you are supposed to submit. Whenever you submit your quotation to your client, you can have that default format what build offers in with the BOQ item description, their quantities, units, and rates. Of course, these report formats are Excel exportable, or what you see on the screen, you can easily export it them into the Excel data. So if you wanted to submit this quotation either with a physical copy or in an Excel file, or client may have offered a online portal through on which you are supposed to submit an Excel or upload an Excel to submit your bid, that you can perform very easily with the CivitBuild. Once these pricings are or quotation is submitted, you may get shortlisted and you could be asked for a negotiation. When you go for a negotiation to a client, you could offer a discount to your client directly with the discount provision or option what is available in here. While performing a discount, system will give you a direct comparison between what you have quoted and where you have landed upon after the negotiation. So whoever is reviewing and approving the negotiation will have a clear insight and understanding of what discounts we are offering and whether the project is feasible to take further or not. So this decision will make it easy to have a clear understanding between quoted and negotiation rate. Similarly, whatever you have submitted earlier, like the tentative execution schedule, terms and condition, you can modify that and resubmit your tender. Once you resubmit your tender, you may won the project or lose the project. That depends upon, of course, the competition what you have, and if you have offered enough discounts to a customer and whether feasible terms and condition. Based on that, you will won the project or lose the project. That you need to feed in there. Let's go on a positive side. You won the project and you have to have a enter the sales order. That sales order with entire details like work order, when the project is going to start and end, who is the contact information and project information, consultant details, contact details, and the payment cycle for that project. Other terms and conditions associated to project, like the payment terms. You may have different payment terms in the project. You may have an advance condition in a project wherein you could have a mobilization plus the material security advance, and there is a possibility of getting a discount or sorry, the recovery cycle that you can set up in here, the retention against the defect liability, other terms and condition, of course, recovery terms, access applicable, and you can of course upload the documents easily in a CivitBuild, and you can give an access and control the access for the document, like an contract signed sales order copy or any other contract document what you wanted to upload as a document management part available in the CivitBuild. Now, by performing entire cycle right from your inquiry, costing, beam model, RFQ, vendor portal, and submission, negotiation, and whether winning or losing the project, what management will achieve out of it. So we have a BIM integrated dashboard available in CivitBuild, which helps you perform a typical analysis. Like, for example, as a company, we have participated in 19 bids so far, and how many bids we have won and how many we have lost. If I wanted to understand why I lost the bids, 3 bids, why, what is the reason of losing those bids, I can go and understand in the lost analysis that I have quoted higher rates and that is the reason why I am losing the bids so far. If I wanted to understand I have an awarded date. So what is the average project duration what I have in my hand right now? So there are 2 years project currently I have based on different work location, and I can perform based on the category, size of the tender. Similarly, I can perform the profit analysis by understanding whatever projects I have, how much profits I'm expecting out of those projects, considering by client wise, maybe by location wise, and considering overhead separately, profit separately, and project type wise or by location. I can also perform an assignment analysis wherein I can understand whatever assignments I have given to my tender department, whether they are doing it or not, or how many projects or work they have in hand right now based on assignment I have given to them. These are by default Power BI to Power BI dashboard what is available in the CivitBuild for a tender management to help you derive best benefit and data driven decision to help you decide and participate in more bid and win more bids. So with that, I hand over the session to Swapnil and Dijo. If you could come up and share the remaining slides.
Yeah. Thank you, Pranav. And it was very insightful. The estimation, the flows, as well as the how it really impacts business positively. I hope the audience may have, what to say, got a good insight from this demo, what you have just showcased us. Okay. So I guess, Dijo, this is your screen, what I can see here.
Yes, I've shared the screen with the next slide. I think you
Okay.
can take
Thank
it
you.
forward. So,
Yeah. So keep sharing. I just take up from my side. So exclusive webinar participants, I see that there is an exclusive offer for the participant who have registered and attended the webinar today. So usually if you go and visit our website, that is civilbuild.in, you will find that you can register for a ERP suite of a product and you can get one user free license for it. But the offer is that if you register it from the webinar as a participant, you will get a two users licenses for this. So that means you can do a lot of the usage as well as you can check many other things with the help of the two user licenses into the system. Next slide, please. So how you can grab this offer? So you just need to visit our website, that is a civitbuild.in. Put in your information like a name, company name, city, email ID, phone number, and then you have to create an account. And then you need to wait for a call from our team member. Did you next slide, please? You can see that once you register, our CivitBuild team will definitely call you up, book your appointment, and get your confirmation for the invite. And you have to attend our free handholding session for the CivitBuild to avail this offer. Yeah, thank you to all of the participants. I see that you must be having certain questions in your mind from this webinar. I request audiences to raise the questions from the webinar that they want us to answer. Yeah, over to you, all the participants. You can put those question answers even into the chat or also into the question answer tab. Yeah, I again like to say, whatever questions you are having, you can put those questions under this. Okay. So I got a first question from the webinar, and the question is, what ROI have business seen after implementing ERP integrated BOQ workflows?
Prem, you want to take it up?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, the participants. Yeah, see, in the construction enterprise, you can hear me, right, Tijo?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
you
hear
are audible.
Okay, yeah. So in the construction enterprise, normally the situations are very dynamic. You prepare a BOQ but due to certain situations, there will be a change in the BOQ. The material rates get, varied during the project execution. So it is very important to know what is the project cost budgeted versus what is the actual cost we are incurring in the project. So with CivitBuild, you can track the budget in terms of bill of quantity, the bill of materials, and the rate of each of the resource. So it is important to track these variations or cost overruns, right? So in this case, CivitBuild, which is a single platform wherein you can collect all the data of materials, machineries, labor expenses, and you can compare with the budget. Okay, so you can take the corrective action, or you can get your the rates which are quoted to your clients can be escalated and get it revised based on the market rates at which you are executing the project. So this is one of the factor through which you can control the cost, which is an indirectly it is affecting your profitability. Secondly, the accessing the information at in various departments. Here what happens is that once the project is created, you derive your bill of materials and the rate. So the same information is shared with the procurement department, the subcontracting department, to ensure that you are procuring the material or getting the services at the budgeted rate. Okay, so you have a better control on that, and at the same time you get the access of the information of the project uniformly across all the departments. And CivitBuild is having an inbuilt document management where you can retrieve the documents on a click of a button. Otherwise, in the manual system, you will be having the lot of challenges in accessing the data, or maybe it is not shared to all the concerned team members. So these are some of the points which will help you to get return on the investment by increasing the profitability and controlling the cost.
Hey, thank you, Prem, for the brief and the what do you say, a good answer for this.
Yeah.
We have got another question, that is, can CivitBuild integrate with other tools or software we already use? I just repeat the question. Can CivitBuild integrate with other tools or software we already use?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, you
Please.
can.
Dija, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So if we can be specific on the third-party tools you are using, that would be would be better for us to understand the third-party solutions what you're referring to. But in general, yes, CivitBuild offers with the open APIs, where we can get it integrated, as I mentioned in my slide presentations. With any third-party application, the CivitBuild modules can be get integrated after analyzing the scope of integration. So take an example, if in case you're having biometric devices for your time and attendance management, can be get integrated for getting the time and attendance or the timesheet from your biometric devices directly to CivitBuild application. Or maybe you might be using procurement and finance in a different software. Yes, once you have your client sales billing, up to the client sales billing taken care in CivitBuild application, the required data can be get integrated with your third-party application. So we have multiple projects. That's what we have offered to our customers, especially in the enterprise segment, as you know. The worldwide world, which you will have the multiple industries, what the enterprise, what they will be working, and they will be having a tier one ERP, which might be running already in their platforms there. But for the construction and contracting division, you can implement CivitBuild and you can get it integrated with your tier one or your corporate level ERP at any point of time. So just to answer your question, yes, it is possible to integrate with any third-party applications based on your organizational requirements. I hope it answered your question. Swapnil, I believe you're on mute.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have got one more question. The question is, how does a centralized BOK system enhance interdepartmental collaboration and reduce rework?
Yeah, basically this is more pertaining to the contracting companies wherein you get a BOQ from your customer against which you have bid the tenders, right? So we have to ensure that whatever the BOQ you got from the customer, the same is executed, and you need to identify any variations or deviations coming in the during the execution that can be monitored. So CivitBuild has an excellent feature wherein when you get the contract awarded with the BOQ, it is directly integrated with your budgeting module. So whenever the QS team is working on the project estimation, it will consider the BOQ that is accepted at the time of contract with the customer. So that will become the base or the referencing BOQ against which your further budgeting, planning, execution, or the service outsourcing is executed. So, in short, yes, CivitBuild has a very controlled, uniformly accessed by all the stakeholders during the project execution. And in case of any variation, there are the configuration, the settings are available, wherein the project team, the system will not allow the project team to execute, or it will give an alert whenever there is a variation happening. Right. So, and as far as the type of project we consider complex infrastructure, yes, CivitBuild supports all the infrastructure projects like road, bridges, canals, infrastructure buildings, and all. Right. So it has a centralized library in the project cost estimation module, wherein your BOQ will be prepared, and it is shared to the different stakeholders of the project execution team. So please, it's done. Yeah.
I just see there is one more question that was there. Okay. No, I don't see anything. Okay. So I don't see any further questions. Those are there into the chat. So I see that we can conclude the today's session.
Yeah.
Thank you all. And let's connect again next month for the another interesting webinar again. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day ahead. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.